This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you. Welcome to the Nate Clubhouse chat. Hang on just 1 second. All right, he's going to a crate with a blanket over the top of him. He'll be quiet soon. All right, so tonight we're going to discuss our new game. It was published this evening at 6:33. It's and that being said, I will blow that up. Start that up. Oops. Maybe I won't. Hang on. I'm sorry. Getting there. Okay. Can you see the Nate Clubhouse chat? New game, Snooker.
Yes, it is there.
Okay. Well, this new game was, as I said, just rolled out by the Competition Standards Committee, which is me, Susan Brogan, Chris, and Eric. I hope Eric will come in sometime this evening and play with us. Okay, Snooker, the new game. If anybody has ever played Snooker in Agility, the flow of this game will feel very similar. If you've ever played Snooker on a pool table, again, it'll feel very similar. The goal of the game is to score as many points as possible within the allotted time. We call this a two-parted game. There's an opening and a closing. In the opening, the dog alternates between bringing in red balls and numbered balls, and then the numbered balls get rolled back out on the field. And once you've completed the required number of red balls for the opening, at novice, it's 2 red balls. At other levels, it's 3. Once you've completed that, then you do the closing, which is to bring in the remaining red ball and then run the rest of the numbered balls in order. We played this some, and the goal was to make this a really fun, fast-moving game. So we've loosened up some of the rules a little bit from what we normally would have played in Standard and B&O, just to make the game move quicker and be more fun for the dogs, and hopefully fun for us too. This is what the field would look like for a novice setup. You can see we've got 3 red balls. Can you see the pointer? Is the pointer showing up?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Tell me if there's some sort of delay so that I don't just blast past something good. So we've got the red balls, and then these are the numbered balls. So this is the 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got the standard goal area and the standard handler box. Like in B&O, there's a rollback line. So we have a cone here and there's another one over here just out of view. And so that would be the rollback line. And out here, this other cone is where the red point ball should line up, that line. So looking down from above, this would be the novice field. Shows that the formation of red balls, you line them up on the edge of the handler box. There's a rollback line, and it's the rollback distances are the same as what we've used in Snooker. Okay, the numbered balls, they line up again on the edge of the handler box, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 feet distance, edge to edge, not center to center. You know, a lot of times we measure our balls center to center. This time it's edge to edge, 5 feet. And then the number 5 ball is 5 feet beyond the number 4 ball, but the number 5 ball is centered right on the middle of the field. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. For the higher levels, for the intermediate, advanced, and expert, sorry. Out here, I'll zoom in a little bit. You can see there's 4 red balls, and then this purple one in front is the number 5 ball. And then the other numbered balls, 2, 3, and then 4 goes in the middle. Again, these the numbered balls, this front row of numbered balls is lined up just behind the rollback line. And there's a point ball distance out here. You can see the orange cone telling you where the point ball of the red formation should be. Okay, and here's what the diagram would look like. Talk about where the point ball is. All the other balls are 6 inches apart. The number 5 ball goes in front of the red formation. It's separated from them by 6 inches. Rollback distance, they're the same as they used in B&O. We have a table that will remind you of what those are. 2, 3, and 4 are centered so that their leading edge is, just past the rollback line. All right, then comes the fun part. So now we're going to watch Chris and Nikki play a game, play the novice level, and then we'll get into more nitty-gritty of the rules. But I thought you might like to sort of see what it's like. Now, we all know that video doesn't run well on the Zoom meetings. So Chris, like Chris said, Chris has emailed out in the confirmation or the invitation, the announcement, there's a link to a nice video that she put together with some narration or explanation in there, actually showing the game occurring live. But we'll just pretend like it's a cartoon and we'll just step through it a picture at a time. So Chris and Nikki are going to play novice snooker. We've got them walking into the field, and right now score is 0. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is send Nikki out to get a red ball. And there he's going out. He's a good boy. He gets behind the red formation and pushes it in, brings the red ball into Chris. When Chris pushes it into the goal, scores 1 point. Red balls are worth 1 point. So the next thing she does is she sends him out after a numbered ball, any numbered ball. In this case, she sent him after the 2. The 2 is yellow today. So he'll bring that in. When that comes in, he gets 2 more points. So we're up to 3 points. Chris puts the ball into the goal. You have to put it into the goal. You can't just catch it in the handler's box. You got to put it in the goal and then roll it back out past the rollback line. So there's the yellow ball going out past the rollback line. I think he's ready. Okay, so then she sends him out to get the next red ball. Red ball's coming in. Put the red ball into the goal, score another point. We're up to 4. Send him out after a numbered ball. This time he's going after number 3. Number 3 comes in. She puts it into the goal, then rolls it out past the rollback line. So we're up to 7 points. Doing really good. Okay, once the 3 ball, okay, so there's the 3 ball crossing the rollback line. Okay, so at that point, we've brought in 2 red balls. We've brought in 2 numbered balls. So in novice, the opening is complete. Now we'll go on and do the closing. So the closing starts by bringing in the last remaining red ball. So there's the red ball moving into the goal. We got up to 8 points. Then we go out and get the numbered balls. Start with number 2. So bring in the number 2 ball in. When it comes in, we're up to 10 points. And go get the number 3. It was hiding over here in the corner. So once it comes in, we're up to 13 points. Go get the 4 ball. Oh, you look, the 3 ball's slipping out. So Chris is going to have to fix that before the end of the game. So as the number 4 ball is coming in, Chris, being an astute handler, realizes, oh, the 3 ball. And so she shoves that back in, shoves the 4 ball in. So we're up to 17 points. sends Mickey out for the number 5. Number 5's coming in. Once it comes in, we got 22 points. Number 5 is in the goal. All the other balls are in the goal. The dog is down and the clock is stopped in an elapsed time of 1 minute 31 seconds. And then she'll put his lead on and walk him out the same way we do every other Treibball game. All right, so any questions before we go on? That's pretty much how you play the game. That was a real good example of how fun it can be.
So if one of the balls sneaks back out of the goal,
yes,
do you get it back in the goal before the next numbered ball comes in, or just before the end of the game? Did you understand that?
Just before
just
before the end of the game.
Before the end of the game. If the ball had scored its points, then you have until the end of the game to get it back in.
Okay, as long as it had actually been in the goal and it just rolled back out, you just have to get it back in before you drop the dog. Okay.
Yeah. But if you don't put it back, you lose those points.
Yes.
At the end of the game.
Right. So before you down your dog at the end, make sure all the balls are in. If it's laying in the handler's box, you can tap it into the goal. But if it's really escaped and it's out in the field, you've got to send your dog to get it, bring it back in again. All right, so the details of the game. We have 2 sets of balls. We have the balls we refer to as red, and then we have the balls that we refer to as numbered balls. So red, I don't know. We call them red because in snooker, in agility snooker, we have red jumps. In billiards snooker, we have red balls. So we've got this group of balls that we're just going to refer to them as red. Now, where you play, if you don't have 3 red balls or 4 red balls, that's okay. As long as you have a group of balls that are very obviously a group, right? You could play with purple balls, you could play with green balls, you could play with balls that were all striped if they were different from your numbered balls. You have to be able to distinguish them. Then we have numbered balls, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can see we did not have 4 green balls, but they were significantly different from the red balls, and they were pretty much numbered. So we were good to go with that. The field setup, like I said, the distances are similar to what you've been using in standard and B&O. For the red formation point ball distance, those numbers should be just like they are in standard. The rollback distances, same numbers we've been using in B&O. Okay, then we look at the gameplay. There's the novice level, which we just saw Chris and Mickey play, and then there's the intermediate and above. And the difference is, at novice you only have 2 red balls in the opening. At intermediate and above you have 3. So in novice, the opening would go red ball, numbered ball, roll it back, red ball, numbered ball, roll it back, and then you're ready for the closing. At intermediate and above, the opening would be red ball, numbered ball, roll it back, red ball, numbered ball, roll it back, red ball, numbered ball, roll that back, and then you're ready for the closing. Okay, so then we have 2 slides with lots of words, because this is where all like the exceptions to the rules and all the other things that can go wrong are fun to talk about. One of the first things is the red point ball does not need to be retrieved first. You can grab any red ball out of that formation. In the opening, the handler may touch the ball once it comes into the handler box, move it into the goal area before being rolled back out. If you just grabbed it in the handler box and rolled it back out, the judge will say 0, because you only get point values once that ball goes into the goal. In the opening, numbered balls must be rolled out before the next red ball rolls into the goal. If a red ball moves into the goal before a numbered ball has rolled out beyond the rollback line, the red ball is a wrong ball. In the opening, any ball that does not come into the goal at the right time is a wrong ball and must be returned to the field a minimum rollback distance. Dog must not interact with another ball until that ball has passed the rollback line. If the dog interacts with another ball before the rollback distance has been achieved, the run will receive an NQ. A dog can be retrieving a ball while a ball is returned to the ball, while a ball that has been returned to the field is still rolling, as long as the rolling ball has passed the rollback line. So you can have a lot of motion going on out there. In the opening, wrong balls get rolled back. The judge will say wrong ball. The handler will place their dog in a stationary position and roll the ball back out the least minimum distance. In the closing, if you get a wrong ball, the judge will say thank you, and you're done. The judge may indicate whether the ball has rolled out far enough or not. If the judge indicates the ball did not roll out far enough, the handler places their dog in a stationary position, goes out and moves the ball past the minimum rollback distance. During video titling, it's permissible for an assistant to make that call as to whether the ball has rolled out far enough, and play continues. For balls being rolled back, all that is required is that they cross the rollback line. After that, if balls curl or bounce back towards the goal, that's fine. Play continues. You know, if you've played down at Positive Partners, you know the floor is not level and funny things happen. So as long as it passes the rollback distance initially, where it ends up doesn't matter. The game ends when time runs out or the handler downs their dog in the handler box or goal, indicating that they're done. If time runs out before the team has brought in all the balls, the timing personnel sounds the buzzer, the judge says thank you, and time stops. Doesn't mean you didn't qualify, because there's like a minimum number of points that you need to have gathered in order to qualify, and so you could have the minimum number but not have brought in all the balls. As I said, at the closing, a wrong ball ends the game. Talk about escaped balls. Only balls in the goal at the game's end count towards the final score. Before time ends, balls that had been brought in but have rolled out of the goal must be put back in. If they're in the handler box, the handler can pop them into the goal. If they've rolled out into the field, the dog has to bring them in. And, during a trial, the judge will call out point values as the balls go in the goal. This calling is not required for video titling. Okay, scoring. Highest score in the fastest time wins. Red balls count 1 point, numbered balls count face value. So get as many points as possible in the allotted time. Allotted times are down here at novice. You get 120 seconds, 135 for veterans, and you only need 12 points to qualify. So if you think about it for a minute, you know, you're going to get 2 reds in the opening, and then you get 2 other numbered balls. So if you brought in 2 5s, you're pretty close to being qualified right in the opening. It's your strategy hints. Okay, so we have some links that we'll make available to you of some teams playing snooker. There's the nice video that Chris put together of her and Mickey playing. And Sandy gave us 2 really fun videos of Chase playing, including this one that's got this funky rollback ball. So when you get access to these, I suggest watching them just so you can see what a rollback ball can do and make a handler wonder what's going on in their game. So that sort of brings. Are there any questions about the rules before we go on?
So there's absolutely no penalty for running out of time like there is in agility if you don't go stop the clock.
Correct. It's you stop gathering points, and if you achieved enough points, you qualify.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, just to clarify, like you've sent your dog out to bring in the first red ball, and like especially in the higher levels, it's not unreasonable to think that one of those other point balls could get knocked in by mistake. So then you would be instructed to roll that ball out, and the dog would continue to bring in the red ball for their first one, and then you still have your opportunity to bring in 3 more point balls after you bring your red balls in, correct? So basically you brought in a point ball before the first red ball.
Correct. You would
Yes.
you would be that'd be called a red ball, and then or a wrong ball, and
Wrong
you'd roll
ball.
it back out.
Okay.
But you don't lose opportunities. We decided to keep it fast paced, and
You've just wasted time at that point.
right.
Okay.
So
So
there's
what
not
if
a
they,
point penalty for
Cor-
the wrong ball.
Correct. There's no point penalties. What's kind of cool in this game is the only point penalties besides are handler area faults, right?
but what if they come in at the same time? Do you have to roll them both back out, the red ball and the point ball?
The judges call what they saw.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's say they aren't the same time. Let's say they're both coming in, and a numbered ball, because of the way it rolls, a numbered ball is coming in before the red ball, just just by a little bit. The red ball has now also not come in the, so they would both have to go back out, because once that numbered ball rolls in first, it's a wrong ball, and the red ball is not correct either.
So grab the red ball and throw it into the goal before the other one gets there.
Yes, that is a yes.
Ideally, yeah.
Ideally, yes.
Good questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now think
And
about it.
Oh, I have a question. Just to be clear, in the opening, I could bring in the number 2 ball each time, right? I could do red ball number 2 and red ball number 2 and then red ball and number 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You
Yep.
can. Okay.
All right. We'll come back. If there's more questions, we'll happily answer them. Training. Sandy's been working really hard on the Nate training pages, and she's now putting together some training pages for snooker, some of the skills you need for snooker. So I will let Sandy, if her microphone's working, let her discuss the training stuff.
I could pretend it's not working, but it probably won't fool you. Basically, what we realized playing the game the other day is that, as Margaret just said, there's an awful lot of overlap between directional cues and balls in order, the skills required for snooker. And so we've already published a new training page for directional cue skills and B&O. And that page already includes sending, waits, stops, and call-offs, walk up, which is come back towards the handler to a ball that's closer, or move laterally, which are all things that will be very handy in the game of snooker. And then as we were watching the runs on this past weekend, it's also evident that we need to be able to teach our dogs, and I'm open to suggestions on how we go about that, other than just practice, to learn to ignore a rolling ball, not chase after it, listen to our command to wait and stay. So that we don't get in queued for them bringing in that rolling ball before it's past or going after a rolling ball before it's past the rollback line. And the other thing is, when you get into the intermediate and higher levels, you have that row of balls in front of the main cluster of red balls. And that may confuse a number of dogs that are used to just one formation on the field. And so we're going to need to, again, have some training tips for how to get your dog to go past that initial row of balls and out to the main cluster of red balls. And again, open to suggestions on if there's a specific way that might be trained, or if it, again, it's just setting it up and practicing. We will add as we get better at training this, we'll add tips on how to train those 2 additional points to the existing directional cue skills training page. And there's a link on here. If you haven't been out to the NATE website, as Margaret indicated, the NATE training team committee has been busy building new training pages and utilizing a lot of our NATE YouTube videos that many individuals have submitted over the existence of NATE, using their examples for how to train all sorts of things. And we'll continue to add to those training pages as we finalize them and get them up, get them live. But there's 3 or 4 of them that are live now, and the promise of more to come. Questions?
So are all those links live on the NATE page, or not all of them, but if I went to the NATE page, would I be able to find the training pages that were showing up here?
Yes.
Okay.
These are live. The other ones will have a comment, coming soon attractions, something like that. And they won't be a live link for the pages that are not active yet.
Okay.
You'll see what we're working on.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I did go look at those when I was putting this together, and your team has done a good job. I commend you.
I will pass that on to them.
All right, so that brings us up to discussion. Do you want pictures up here, or should we look at our faces some more? I will end this. Let's look at our faces. Let's see if I can do that. Nope, that's not it. I don't know how to find my GoToMeeting. There you are. Okay, so what do you guys see now when we're talking? Do you still see my computer screen, or do you see each other?
Green.
I see
Your
your computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're still sharing.
You see your
All right.
PowerPoint.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
need to click on the share button again
I'm
to
trying to
unshare.
I've got several too many things open. Ah, I'm getting close. Well, talk amongst yourself while I'm fiddling with my computer.
Okay, I have just one question for clarification. The way I understood what we discussed earlier was if the ball that you bring in is the correct ball, while that ball is rolling out, you can send your dog for another red ball. So as long as they don't bring it back before that ball as long as they don't cross before the ball that's being sent out has crossed the rollback line. Is that part correct?
Right. They can't interact with another ball until that ball, the rollback ball, for whatever reason, has crossed the rollback line.
Oh, so they can't even touch a red ball before that rollback line has been met. Correct?
Yeah, and that'd be any ball.
But the dog can be moving and doing that. But if it's an incorrect order ball, the dog has to be stationary while that ball rolls out. That was what
Correct.
I heard. I just wanted to make sure that's what what was
correct.
Meant. Okay, that clarified that for me.
Yep, I'm reading it right now just to make sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
We all played a lot of us played last weekend, and it went pretty well. If you haven't tried it yet, now that the rules are out there, I encourage you to do it because it seems fun. I think everyone had a good time.
We did. I thought the times might be a little, initially when the game was described, I thought the times might be a little challenging, but it's doable. I haven't tried the upper levels yet, but
I can tell you that by the time you get to the upper level, it's not to get all of the points at novice. The upper levels, in particular advanced and expert, you have to be pretty spot on to get all the points. Just like agility, snooker, just it gets pretty tight at the upper levels. To get all that doesn't mean it's hard to get the cue. There's plenty of time to get the cue. It's if you're in that vein, in the competitive vein, where you're trying to get all the points. It's tight.
Yeah. Getting the equivalent of 51 is as challenging there as it would be in agility.
Right.
Yeah.
As it should be.
I thought the same for novice because I was trying to get a 5-ball and my dog didn't go all the way out, so I had to resend. And in the end, I ran out of time. I had enough points to qualify, but it wasn't. I didn't bring all the balls in. So there are lots of balls out there, and time goes quickly.
But another way to look at it, the only time points are going to really matter is if you're in a live trial, because if you're doing video submission, you're not really running against anybody else anyway.
True.
So if you're doing a
Just
video,
running for pride.
Exactly, video submission, get your points and wrap it up.
Yeah.
Are the updated rules online yet?
Yes. If you go to the NATE website and click on the link for the current the rules handbook, it does have all the rules in there.
Okay. It just, so on the website it says released October 22nd, 2021.
But there's an update.
But if you click on the handbook, that one does have the updated one. Okay.
Right. There's all kinds of updates.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks.
I think one of the skills and I don't know that there can be any training help for that, is for the handler to learn how much English to put on the ball to send it back out without sending it clear across the field.
Yes. I've had thoughts about that. I'm looking forward to playing my new scheme. I have an idea.
Yeah, there's just to practice rolling the ball back.
Yeah.
And it depends where you're at. I mean, roll back at positive partner is going to be far different than roll back in my sand lot here.
Exactly. Exactly. And I found when I was first trying it, I was always rolling back short because I was trying to just get over that line, but that was not helping me. Better to go just a little further.
To have any hope of get maximum points, so people have to figure that out, because if you're rolling the 5 back, you don't want to really send it.
Right.
And it depends on the dog too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I still want to try playing it off that back wall, hitting it hard and letting it come back.
There's an idea.
It'll make it interesting, to say the least.
Yep. And some of us kind of tried to do that, intentionally or not. Whoops, there it goes.
Work on my backspin.
I did decide that my rollback skills are really bad, so that might be something to work on.
Because it is a thing. You have a tendency, I notice a tendency to try to roll it toward the side so it's out of the way, so you can send your dog to other things, and try to keep
Mhm.
it close to the rollback cone.
Mhm. Yep.
And that doesn't always work out.
It will be interesting to see what people do with that one.
Mm-hmm. I do have some videos, training videos on working on acclimating the dog toward running by rolling balls or ignoring rolling balls as they're moving. I've got one on that.
Okay.
Something that we could use. I think there's one of those dangers. We work so hard on training the dog to go to point ball,
Right.
and then it's totally legal to send the dog in snooker, and they can pick up whichever, on the initial, they can pick up whichever red ball they want. But if you keep saying, yeah, it's okay in snooker, you just get whichever one, you can watch your point ball ability degrade and everything else. It's a little dangerous.
I think it's actually an advantage to have them at the point ball, though, because if they disperse the red balls,
Yes.
it should make retrieval easier and easier to get to the red ball or to the number 5 ball.
Yep, I agree.
What else? What else can we do with this game? Anything? Any other? Okay. What about other questions you would have? We got, we have Chris here to answer rule questions.
Time.
I've been practicing urban herding. I'm going to have new urban herding questions.
That's awesome. I love what you're doing with that.
Yeah.
I still need training ideas for how to teach your dog to drive and videos.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what we can do. I've been focusing on Finn because he's picking it up quicker. But I took Marty out the other day, and Marty's like, "Oh yeah, I can do this." It's like, okay, I've got 2 dogs who can almost do it.
His drive 3 feet down the hallway, and that's the extent of his drive.
Oops. Who went away?
Don't know.
Okay. So,
She had 2
Uh-uh.
names. I can't remember what it was.
Something else. Something I want to add is while we've released the game, we're not actually. Lisa has not ordered ribbons.
Oh.
We don't have the score sheet online. I mean, we have a score sheet. I do have to create it online. And if you try to go out around your backyard and do the video submission, you won't actually find it on the form to do a video submission yet. So you can save your videos for a little while. We'll get it up in the next couple weeks or so, but we do want to give people a chance to get out there, play, and we're still working on some of the computer end of it so that we can actually submit them and do the online judging.
Okay.
It'll be a while. I don't remember what Lisa said, but it'll be a while before the ribbons come in. So,
Brenda, you have the wrong dog.
Who is that, Brenda?
Are you
That's my grand dog, Hank. He loves Grandma.
Ah, okay. Well, thank you all. Thank you all for showing up. Look forward to hearing how the game goes for you. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome
Thanks
game,
for
Margaret.
taking the time to do this because it's
Yeah,
a
thanks.
little bit counterintuitive. So I think it helps to talk it out.
Mhm.
I love the step-by-step pictures. That's very helpful for me because I'm a visual person. So I like that.
Me too.
You're gonna love the videos that are posted of people playing the game. You're gonna like those also. So okay.
No, that's awesome. I second that, Brenda.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Well,
All
thank
right.
you.
Go forth and prosper.
Thanks.
All right. I'll see some of
Hey,
you
Snooker.
tomorrow.
Thank
All
you. Thank
right.
you.
See you
Okay,
guys.
Thanks,
bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.